Hey you guys, Desmond here and welcome back to the channel. Today we are discussing RuPaul's Drag Race Season 13, Episode 4, the RuPaulmark channel. So today I am joined by the lovely LACRESHA. Say hello.
Hello.
So before we get started, I just want to remind everybody to like, comment, and subscribe, especially comment. We've been getting a few comments here lately and I enjoy all comments. So if you have an opinion that's different from ours, leave it down below. I would love to read it. Just don't get rude. We have one trying to get rude. Don't get rude.
We would love to engage.
Let's have a conversation, okay? Let's have a conversation.
Let's be adults about this.
Okay, let's subscribe, all right? So, overall, what did you think of tonight's episode?
It was a good episode. Not as good as last night's episode, but it was still a good episode.
And I bet you're wondering what happened to the review of RuPaul's Drag Race UK. There were so many technical difficulties that we eventually just had to scrap it. It will be known as the lost episode of RuPaul's Drag Race because every time we shot it, something was wrong. So we took it as a sign that we're not meant to shoot that review, and I'm not meant to tell you how Cherry Valentine was not supposed to be in that bottom two, but we're not going to. Anyway. So overall, I really enjoyed this episode. I love that I was waiting for them to make a dig at Hallmark. I knew it was coming. I'm glad we finally got it. Some were better than others, but we will discuss.
Right.
So we start off the episode with the queens finally meeting each other. But before they met, Elliot was like, "Ooh, let me go hide," which I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, if I was Elliot, if I was in that situation, I'm gonna hide. Y'all gonna really think I'm not here, but I think I would have stayed back there longer than what Elliot did. I would have stayed back there a little bit longer, get a little bit more.
Well, that might have been an editing thing.
It could have been because she could have been back there, and they could have cut the rest of that conversation out.
Probably because it was counterproductive.
But hey, me personally, if she did come out at that time, I would have waited a little bit longer to come out. I need to hear all the tea. What y'all really think about Elliot with two T's? And let me tell you what I think about Elliot with two T's. Y'all know what she did. Anyway, so Elliot comes out and she confronts the girls and she tried to come for Miss Tamisha Iman.
That was the worst mistake.
No, and Tamisha said, "Baby,
you picked the wrong one today.
You picked the picking all the chihuahuas. It's a pit bull. Don't come for me."
Right?
And I love how she was like, "Well, I didn't have to put myself up because they chose you." I was like,
right?
I love she presented to. Here's your ass.
Right.
Chose you, not
hand
me.
and mouth. There you go,
baby.
Here's foot.
And I can't fault Elliot for being upset because I would too, but not Tamisha.
No. At the end of the day, however, you have to think about it. Okay, this is first impressions. Obviously, I did not make a good first impression, and it's not like anybody got to really just know anybody.
And that's true, but you also got to remember, Elliot really thought she was going home until they were like, "Oh, you're coming in tomorrow."
Right.
So coming from that mind frame where I was finna go home to now I got a second chance, I understand her coming in with her guards up.
Right.
But I wouldn't be coming for Tamisha.
No, that was the wrong one.
Mistake number one. And you want to make your comments about how black queens are aggressive.
I was about to say, and in light of things that have been said since.
Forget her.
That was the wrong one.
She's been unfollowed on all social media platforms because I follow all the queens until they do something they shouldn't have, and then I unfollow. And
I never followed her to begin with.
I did, and now I unfollowed her. And seeing her, the amount of followers she has compared to the rest of the season girls, it made me and my homegirls happy. It did. So
your other personalities.
So RuPaul comes in and was like, "All right, this week we are going to be overacting in some cheesy Hallmark parodies called RuPaulmark Channel." We had 3 movies. We had Misery Loves Company. We had God Loves Flags. And then we had April Fool's Rush In.
So it was one based on Valentine's Day, one based on Flag Day.
Yes.
And the other one was based on April Fool's Day.
Yes. Now, the April Fool's group was Candy Muse, Joey J, Gottmik, Tina Burnter, almost called a Turner, and Tamisha Iman. And I love how RuPaul says Tamisha Iman's name. Like
Tamisha.
Like she's giving her all her flowers, and I love that. I really love the respect. Because they're about the same age. I think Ruth's not too much older than Tamisha. Really, so it was nice to see a mutual respect. But I'm still hosting this show, but I have respect for somebody who's been doing this for 30 years. Yes. And then God Loves Flags was Utica, LaLaRie, Symone, and Rose. And then we had the final group, which was Misery Loves Company, which was Denali, Kamora, Elliott, and Olivia. So they were assigning the roles, and Denali, which I kind of felt like was a mistake, really put herself up there like, I want the role with the most lines.
I don't think she realized it had the most lines, but I'm like, honey, if you're going to play the main character, you're going to have the most lines.
Especially when she said she didn't really have much acting experience. And I'm like, ooh, is that smart?
Right.
Because it was just kind of, you know what I'm saying? But she did it. And one thing that really irritated me when they were sitting down with their each groups, how Candy just took the Whoopi character and wasn't trying to have a discussion about it. Like she said, I'm Whoopi, and started highlighting her part. I'm like, that's not how this
but
works.
It fit her.
It did fit her, but if I was in her team, I'd be like, hold up now. Don't just come up in here and start barking orders and say, oh, I'm going to take... No, ma'am.
No,
this
ma'am,
is a discussion.
Ma'am.
I couldn't have been in that team because I would have told Candy, hold up. I would have fought for Whoopi. I might not even wanted Whoopi, but I was going to fight for it. I'm like, no, ma'am, you're not just going to come sit at this table and say, oh, I'm Whoopi. No, ma'am. No ham, no turkey, no collard greens, no none of that. She was not a fierce Brock ally. Not a fierce Brock ally. And I just went, that irritated me. But we got our first walkthrough with RuPaul this season, which I was kind of wondering if they were going to do because of, the COVID precautions that were in place.
But I like how they how they played it, though. She stayed at one table at one end, and they all went to one table.
Yes, and they all came to her, and there was social distancing happening without them having to even say it. Like, we were able to see it. And I like situations like that where they don't have to shove it down their throat. Oh, we're doing everything. You're seeing it.
Right.
You're seeing the protection. You're seeing whenever you do see the crew members in the back, you see them with the shields and the
face mask and everything's wrapped in plastic.
She mentioned it once in the first episode. We're keeping it safe, and now we're seeing them keep it safe. And that's keeping it cute, in my opinion.
Right, and then, you've got the partitions in the middle on either side of everybody, so they're all just breathing their own air. And I had a moment in the middle of the episode, because I was like, wait a minute, so what's going to happen? Because they're starting it with no partitions, and then I was like, oh, wait, no, wrong season. I'm thinking UK, not...
I imagine when UK... the little, when it has to stop and come back, you're going to see what we're seeing in the U.S. And then we're going to start seeing Michelle's gray streak. Yes, and
I love that gray streak.
We could talk about that a little bit later when we get to the runways, but it looks gorgeous tonight.
I want it so bad.
It looks so good. Man, we'll talk about it. It looks so good.
It does.
Like, she didn't have to slay on them that hard.
And she's been rocking it most of quarantine, actually.
Yeah, she has.
Because I have her on my Instagram.
I do too.
And I'm like, okay, she's trying to let the gray come out.
I love that she's embracing it. In the last couple weeks, the hairstyle was cute, but tonight...
that was a look.
That was a look. And, we normally don't talk about Michelle's look on this show, but we really had to give her honorable mention right now.
Yeah, because you think we hated her. We don't hate her.
I love Michelle. She said some questionable things, but I love her. All right, so we finally get them going in, and they're shooting the
commercial,
not commercial, but the pilots. And we had a few people struggling. Denali,
a few,
Joey J,
a few,
Kamora.
Oh God,
terrible. And Utica.
Tamisha did slightly.
Tamisha started off rough, but she got there. And I love seeing that. Like, she got there. She was taking Ross's advice, and she was really
Yes,
camping it up.
That's the best way to do it when you go into these is you have to just take the notes and run with them.
Yeah, and I think she did a good job with it, and obviously she did a good enough job for her to be safe.
Yes.
So I thought that was a good job. But yeah, Utica struggled. LaLaRi struggled. LaLaRi struggled bad. I really thought, this is getting ahead of ourselves, but I really thought LaLaRi was going to be in Denali's spot tonight. I really did. I was shocked that she said she was safe. One thing I want to discuss about before we move on to the mirror moments that we had. Not once did they mention that LaLaRi and Tamisha Iman are drag queens.
Maybe that might come up later.
I'm not sure if they're purposely keeping it a secret, so like the queens don't be like, "Oh, y'all are family. Y'all are trying to manipulate something." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm like, why haven't they? Not even in the confessionals. Like I imagine, even in the confessionals, they should mention it.
They didn't say that they were drag family. She just said, "Oh, I know her from
Atlanta." Yeah, I know her from Atlanta, and she liked to fight. That's all she said about Tamisha Iman the whole episode. So I'm not sure if this is like a strategy they had once they realized they were both in there. Because, you know, I always thought, because I want to be on Big Brother. There's no secret about that. I'm getting my audition tape together right now. Again. I always say that if I was ever in the house and somebody I knew walked in, I would act like I did not know them. But as soon as it's just us two, be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know. So I feel like that's probably what they're doing as well. Mm-hmm. But the gag is, what if, whenever it does come to light, if it does come to light.
Yeah.
But my thing is, they mentioned in the promos, and normally they shoot the promos after the first episode. So I would imagine they either did it right after the lip sync extravaganza, or they did it right after this one, because this was the first episode they were all together. And Tamisha mentions that LaLaRi is her drag daughter when they did the promo. So right. I'm like, so are they actually mentioning it and they're just cutting it out? Because they could be talking about it,
right?
But they cut it out.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, you know, I guess leading into us discussing the mirror moments prior to the runway, when they were doing their makeup and stuff like that, there was like just this blunt cut to, oh, I have 3 biological children. So that could have been what, you know, part of the initial conversation.
Well, the conversation, you know, we go talk about, that's one of the mirror moments that we got. You know, but they were talking about who had girlfriends growing up and whatnot. So I didn't feel like that was a cut. I feel like I have biological kids, which means clearly I've been in a relationship with women. You know what I'm saying? Right. I didn't take it as a cut to a different conversation. I felt that was a transition into Tamisha Iman telling the world about her 3 biological children.
Yes, that we heard about last week.
And I love hearing a little bit more about the story, saying that he had two baby mamas, had twins with one girl and a single baby with the other, and, you know, coming to terms with his sexuality and being able to still have a relationship with the kids. And I like that.
Right.
Like, she didn't go too much into details, but she said that they would watch. So if they would watch the show, that means there's enough relationship there. There's enough respect there for their father to watch the show. So
that the mothers didn't put him down for anything.
Yeah, well, mothers probably did. Like, you got to think about what time that was. But they were able to grow from it, and they're a nice family now. Because I would love to hear more from Tamisha Iman's story, because I feel like she got a lot of stories to tell. Like, they can give her, like, if she can do a sit down with somebody and just tell all her story. That's only if she wants to. If you don't want to me, she ain't got to. But if you want to sit down and tell your story, I will gladly sit down and listen to your story.
All day.
So, one of the things that happened in the workroom was Candy Muse didn't like the outfit she brought for her Trains for Days runway, which was the runway this week. So she had to make a new outfit. Tina and Gottmik helped her.
Yes, that was very sweet.
Oh, I love that. I love seeing the
camaraderie.
Yes, camaraderie. I love seeing that. Because a lot of people could have said, oh no, that's Candy. She got it.
Right? I do like the chemistry that this group has.
Oh, they have such good chemistry.
Because in other seasons, you know, there's chemistry there. You know, they all seem like they're all really good girlfriends and stuff like that. This is the first time I'm feeling like family vibes.
Yeah, like, this is a family, I feel it. And I feel like it's going to be weird when they eventually start fighting, because come on, it's Drag Race.
Right, it's going to happen. Because, you know, we've got, you know, Miss Tamisha is mom.
Mother. And it's just, I agree with that. It feels like a family dynamic, and I love it.
Right.
Like, I've never felt like a close-knitness from a group of girls like this. And I'm not sure it's because they're all bonding over the fact that they're doing this during a pandemic.
Right.
Because that's a different level of trust. I'm trusting my safety with y'all in this production.
My life is in your hands.
Yeah.
As long as you follow the rules and I
follow the rules, we'll be fine.
We'll be okay.
And I feel like they're closer from that.
Yeah.
I feel like this cast is going to be closer because they went through it during a pandemic.
Right. And I feel like the judging is a little bit
They're not as harsh.
Yeah.
I've noticed. I noticed Michelle in particular hasn't been as harsh as I thought she was.
Right,
because she could have really went in on Joey J without the wig, and she started to, but she didn't go as far as she did with Dusty and Max. Now we'll have to wait and see.
Right.
Because Joey did wear a wig this week.
Yes.
And Joey was safe, which is something I don't agree with. Honestly, I feel like Joey should have been in the bottom over Denali. And the bottom two should have been Lala Ree and Kimora. But we'll just get on that a little bit more. But yeah, this cast, family.
Yes.
Round of applause. I love it. Alright, so we talked about Tamisha, we talked about how they're a good grab. So Symone went to prom in full drag.
Yes.
And I love how, you know, she's from Arkansas, you know, Arkansas's But I love how the principal was still like, oh, that's Reggie? Okay, come on in, Reggie, have a good time. I love how he didn't even bat an eye, like, oh, you're in a dress and makeup and a wig. Come on in, have a good time.
Right.
I love that. You don't hear that a lot.
At all.
Especially coming from Arkansas.
Yes.
Arkansas, as some people like to say. And it was nice to hear that.
Yes.
It really was. So, Symone.
Very fortunate.
Who's going for the throne? And I love how they were singing Tamisha's little part from her song. And they're like, you can't sing that. We weren't here for it. And they're like, then we can't hear Symone talking about she's going for the throne no more. I thought it was cute. But I love Tamisha's verse. Like, I go back and listen to Tamisha. Mom, it's coming for you. It's my favorite.
It's out of that
phenomenon, it is my favorite. So it's time to bring her to the runway. So can we talk about RuPaul's? You said Poison Ivy look.
Yes.
I
loved it.
Ru is turning it. She's turning it on UK. She's turning it on US.
Yes, because she was chocolate curls last night and she was minty green Poison Ivy today.
I don't know who's in charge of her costumes, but they're doing a good job. And of course, Raven's doing an amazing job with her makeup. So it's just like Ru has been
season 12.
Stop! I liked season 12.
It was red the whole fluffing season.
Red. It was American red, white, and blue.
Her face didn't need to be red.
I still liked it. She's just a hater.
I'm not a hater.
Well, people think I've had several comments. People think I hate Raven. I don't hate Raven. I just don't think she was robbed. She was not robbed in season 2, and she was not robbed in All Stars 1. I've gotten several comments saying, "Oh, you hate Raven." No, I don't. I love Raven. She's sick name.
Sorry,
but she wasn't robbed, and I will scream that until my face turns blue. She was not robbed. But yeah, she looked amazing. So the category this week was Trains for Days. So I think we should just talk about some of our favorites and some of the ones we didn't like, because there's 13 queens. There's no way we have enough time to talk about all of them. Can we talk about Denali's? Denali's bird of a feather flocked together.
Yes.
Honestly, that look alone should have made her safe. She really should have been safe. That was train. Like, a lot of people's trains were very small. She had a train.
It didn't seem that long to me.
Well, when we rewatch, I'll point it out. Because that train was long. And I was gagged. I was goop. I was like giving me what was the name of that bird from the Fruit Loops? Toucan Sam?
The toucan?
Yeah, Toucan Sam giving me that. And I loved it. I loved every piece of it. Another one I want to give a shout out to is Symone.
With the do-rag train.
Oh.
You didn't have to do that.
Symone. You just don't know. I bet every black person watching was just like,
bitch.
Symone. Symone. You saw how Lonnie Love reacted. She was like, yes. I was like, oh, Symone.
Black culture.
Get off of our throats, ma'am. Get off of our throats.
You know, as much as we didn't feel like Symone, well, no.
Like, we agree with her being in the top 2 placement in the winners episode. We don't agree with her winning the lip sync.
That part.
But we agree with her being there at the top.
Yes.
But it was just like, she really turned it tonight.
Yes. Like all the way around.
We got a nice little moment with her going to prom. We got this runway, then we got the acting challenge, which she did amazing, which we're gonna talk about a little bit later. It's just overall great episode for Symone. Great episode for Symone. They're really building up Symone, and I truly feel like she's gonna be top 4.
Yes.
Top 4 for sure.
Yes.
Then the other one I really want to talk about is Utica, the Gone with the Window.
Look.
Come through. Giving us a challenge from the past.
Okay, aging myself again. I didn't watch the original, but I used to watch the reruns. Fuck you, I am not 45.
I said 35.
God, I wish I was 35.
Wait, I forgot you are.
I'm 37, people. I just turned 37. I'm not 55.
Well, you just talked about
anyways, because you keep throwing me off. Okay, so I watched like reruns of He's usually the abusive one. He's making me look like I'm the abusive one.
I'm telling you, she's been beating me up all day.
I am not. Anyways, I just like the throwback to the Carol Burnett show, and she favors her slightly.
She really does.
And so when she came out, and I was like, oh my gosh, she did the Gone with the Wind look. And then she was like, yeah, Carol Burnett. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, that one. I liked she picked different fabrics. They were much lighter fabrics, so they flowed and kind of made her float, as opposed to the big, heavy velvet from the movie and the show. But I appreciated the throwback.
Those are the 3 that we really just loved. Now, nobody really did bad.
No.
Nobody really did bad, but there was 2 that kind of just didn't sit right with my spirit. First was Joey J's. Like, it felt like there was too much going on. She had the red ponytail and the black, like, really long train. It was just, I thought a reveal was coming. It looked like a reveal was coming.
Right.
But it never did. And I'm like, it's too much going on.
It was somewhere between trying to be BDSM and trying to be Janet Jackson.
Yeah. And it didn't work. And then the other one I didn't particularly care for was Tina Burner's. Now, when we were discussing, because one thing we like to discuss is how will we interpret the category. And I'm like, for Trains for Days, I would do some little cute.
Speaking of trains,
I would do some cute conductor outfit with a really long train attached to it and give 2 trains. But that's what that's what Tina did, but she didn't do it right.
She didn't do his interpretation.
She didn't do what was in my mind, so therefore I didn't like it.
Right.
The silhouette was off for me. The colors were off for me, and the hair. She missed several marks for me, and I truly feel like that's why she didn't make top, because her outfit wasn't up to par. Even though I feel like she should have been top 3.
Yes, and for me, I'm boring, so I took it literally. And so my interpretations would have been like Princess Diana's dress, the dress from Tyler Perry's what movie? Family Reunion, because that was a train nodding. And then I probably would have did like Rihanna's Met Gala dress, the gold one.
I said if I was going to be basic, it would have to be Nicki Minaj's Met Gala dress, that red and black with those little sparkle headpiece that she had on.
Yeah.
Barbs, y'all know what I'm talking about. Well, we know, because I'm a Barb. I'm not sure if you know, but we know. We see each other. And
I'm just totally and completely out of the loop.
So, let's discuss the acting challenges real quick.
Okay.
So let's start with Misery Loves Company. Mm-hmm. The only one who really kind of shined was Olivia.
Yeah.
Everybody else was. Olivia was here. Everybody else was here.
Right. But see, Olivia's, you know, she kind of faded away for a second. But she's working her way back, and in this episode, she could have gave a little bit more.
I agree. Listen, I fought it. It was trying to be a bigger one.
Look, I feel you, because mine's just is buried deep within me. And we've had, I'm not gonna jinx it. Anyway.
Yes, let's not jinx it, so continue.
But yeah, Olivia did really good. You know, she was playing the granny. You made the note that you wish you would have played it a little bit older.
Yeah, like the voice didn't really give me old lady. You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like if she would have gave us that old lady voice, she probably could have been.
But she did the best that she could, and she was the standout from that group.
So let's talk about God Loves Flags. Utica did better than what I thought, but they cut the Bond joke. Like it was in the recording part, but didn't make the actual pilot. I'm like, oh, the Bond joke was funny.
Right. I don't think she delivered it the way that they wanted her to, and that's why they cut it. But Symone was great with her little role.
Wait, no, Symone was in the Valentine's Day one. Remember this one was the flags.
Yeah.
It was LaLaRie. It was Symone. I take that back. I'm sorry.
I wasn't paying attention. Misery Loves was with Denali. Yeah. Yeah. Just paying attention. But no, Symone
did good.
She did great. I know that there were other references, and for like a split second, I got Donald Trump vibes.
Oh?
No, I got Donald Trump vibes on Denali.
Oh, I didn't get them.
And the wall where a wall should be.
Okay, yeah, I see. Now that you said it, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. But yeah, Symone did amazing. LaLaRie struggled. Utica was okay. And Rose was amazing. Like, and shout out to Jeffrey, Canada's Drag Race judge. Like, I love seeing him.
His redemption.
I wouldn't call it redemption because he has nothing to redeem himself from. The fan base is just toxic, and they really need to chill.
Yes.
But
there's always going to be somebody out there.
Because I can guarantee you, Michelle Visage has said way harsher things than Jeffrey.
She really has.
But we're not discussing that right now.
Yes.
So
another podcast.
I love that Jeffrey was there. I love he had his little moment. You could tell he wasn't there, but
right?
He was
there.
It was
a green screen.
Yeah, but it was cute.
Yes.
It was cute. And now Misery Loves Company was my favorite one. Honestly, like overall, everyone did a good job.
Yes.
I think the only one that really dropped the ball was Joey J.
Yeah.
Joey was just kind of for me. And I really thought Joey J was going to be in the bottom. I think Joey J should have been there instead of Denali. The bottom three was Denali, LaLaRie, and Kimora Hall. I really thought Joey was going to be there instead of Denali. So when I heard her say Joey, I'm like, oh, this must be the top and bottom queens. But when she said safe, I'm like, Joey should have been in the bottom. Joey should have been lip syncing against LaLaRie tonight. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Joey should have been in the bottom, but LaLaRie should have been the one lip syncing against Kimora. I really do. I didn't understand Rue's decision to save LaLaRie.
Well, LaLaRie would have saved herself.
Oh yeah, like Kimora didn't put up a fight, so whoever would have lip synced. But then again, I don't like to give excuses, but that dress is hard to lip sync in.
I understand.
And if you go back and watch her first lip sync, she did do more movement then, but she had a little bit more
room to move.
So she at least she didn't just do what Charlie Hides and stand there.
Right.
She tried moving around. She tried to give emotion, but she could tell about halfway through that Denali was murdering her.
Right.
But we'll discuss that a little bit later. But yeah, I don't agree. I feel like Joey J should have been in the bottom instead of Denali, and I feel like LaLaRie should have been lip syncing against Kimora Hall. But like I said, Rue's been making some questionable decisions between this and UK. Joe, Cherry, really good? Really? Okay. Y'all better be lucky that you're not getting the episode 2 review because, honey, The more times we had to do it, the further I was going in.
Yeah.
Because it'll make me mad having to rethink about it.
Every time. We recorded it 4 times on 2 separate days. Jesus.
That's why it's not meant to be. So, the top 3 this week was Symone, Rose, and Candy Muse. Do you agree with that?
Top 3?
Yeah. I don't agree with Candy being there.
The only reason why I'm okay with Candy being there was because her acting was good.
Her acting was good, but I feel like Tina Burner did a better job. And
in my opinion, Tina Burner.
You didn't like her in the acting challenge?
I did not like her in the acting challenge.
She gave you very rich B word. Like, I love her. But, she was
Frederick.
She was giving me very that. And like she was giving me that uptight, that person who's at the top doing anything she can to get more money. I felt that. And honestly, I thought she should have been in the top over Candy Muse. And I actually like Tina Burner's look more than I like Candy Muse.
I did like her. Well, I didn't like either look, actually.
Because although I didn't agree with how Tina did it, I still like the better.
It was passable.
Yeah, it's passable. Like,
yeah. Candy's look.
She's the only one that took it literally, like trains.
Right.
Like that's how I would have took it. Oh, you want a train outfit? Let me go get this conductor outfit real quick.
Right. Would you have done pants or would you have done a dress like she did?
I would have done something similar to what Cherry Valentine did for her hometown look on week 1 of UK. That coal miner type.
Oh, okay.
And the cut off here. And I think I would have done that with the cut off with a really long train. I think I would have done black instead of that brownish color she did. And I would have done suit all over me like I just came off the train.
So old timey conductor.
Yes.
Not a modern conductor.
Yeah, not a modern one.
Which I think is what Tina Burner did.
I think Tina did more modern. I would have went more old school.
Yes.
But then again, as we were talking, I'm like, I could throw some Sheldon Cooper in there because I watched Big Bang Theory, one of the best shows ever. And Sheldon is obsessed with trains. And I'm like, maybe I could do the colors of Sheldon. But then I was like, that's too bright. Some way I would have fit Sheldon in there. I don't know how I would have done it, but Sheldon somehow would have been referenced in that look somewhere.
On the train, would have said, "You're in my seat."
I would have a sign that says, "You're in my seat."
Oh no, you would have walked down, and then you'd have blew the whistle, and then you'd be like, "You're in my seat."
Oh boy, that rude. You're in my seat.
And then would have turned around and walked away.
Walked away. Yes, I love it. I love it.
See, I can get creative.
But yeah, I agree with Symone and Rose being there. I didn't particularly care for Rose's look. I agree with Michelle. It was just a suit with fabric attached onto it to make a train.
Right. And if you were going to do that, then you should have just... Because I didn't like the ruffles all on the back. It made me uncomfortable.
So, our winner is Symone. She got 2 wins and she has won $10,000 doll hairs.
Doll hairs.
10,000 of them. Only 4 episodes in. Lucky.
$10,000.
About 2 weeks worth of work and she done got $10,000.
Right. And that's not including whatever she gets per episode.
Yeah. Bring in the coins. So even if she don't win, she's leaving with some good money. Okay?
She's leaving with season 1 money.
Season 1 was done dirty. But we can't talk about it because UK don't get no money.
Okay.
Everybody else gets money. Canada got money. Holland, they didn't get money, but they got a dress that was worth $18,000 of their money.
18,000,
whatever their currency is there. So it's just like, and I saw Envy wearing it. She looked so good in it. But anyway. So Denali and Kimora Hall was in the bottom 2. They lip synced to, hold on, I wrote it down. 100% Pure Love by Crystal Waters. Never heard the song before.
You've never heard that?
Never heard that song before. That was my first time right there. Okay. Oh, you were going to age yourself again, weren't you? That's what happens when you're 25.
You're not 25.
Okay, I'm 27.
I am 10 years older than you. 9 years, because you're about to be 28.
Yeah, so can we talk about Denali real quick? Denali
turned it. Okay,
like she didn't have to do Kimora like that. She didn't have to do it like that. She knew she was gonna win that.
Okay, wait, because see, earlier in the day, today, I was watching YouTube and I saw her do the you know,
the if you
seek Amy,
yeah.
And then I saw her do something with ice skating, and she did this move where she went
she did When I Grow Up.
Yeah, and she slid to the side on one knee, and I said, "Oh fuck." Sorry, you're gonna have to bleep that. But I was like, oh. I was like, oh my god.
And she turned, and I know she was relaying a message saying you don't want to lip sync against me.
Okay.
But it gave me, and I hate to compare the two, but it gave me very Trinity and Charlie. You know, Trinity was turning it, and Charlie was pointing the kids out her yard. But I have to give it to Kimora. She at least moved around. Right. She tried, but you could tell about halfway through, she could tell that Denali was murdering her.
Look,
when she used her as a prop,
that was over. Look, I'd have hiked that little skirt up.
I pull a Kasha Davis, hype that up. Oh baby, baby.
100%
like
pure love.
Here's the thing. I always said if I were to be on the show, all my looks would have a tearaway value. Like it would have some, like if it was a train, I'll make sure that train was detachable just in case I had to lip sync.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you don't ever want to be
Denali. Hers ripped straight off, and she went straight to work. Went straight to work. And I'm pretty sure, like... And she loves a duck walk. Oh, she did it several times. But she does it so well. Yes. And she does it on ice, too. Yeah, she does it on ice. Work. But overall, this was a great episode. Yes. I know this episode was a tad bit longer than what you're used to, but this was the first episode with all the queens together. Yes, so we're really excited, and it deserved a longer episode. Yes. So, LACRESHA, where can they find you? I am at Cresha Miguel on all social media. I have 150 followers on TikTok now. Hey. So thank you. And you can find me on all social medias at Simply Desmond. That's SIMPLYDESMOND. Thank you for spending a piece of your day with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Side note, I posted a video about Symone on TikTok, and it's gotten over 400 likes. Okay. Look at us coming up. Come on, we'll see y'all next week. Bye.